Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them, that's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dragon's Lair podcast in association with the Riverside Sports Bar, home of live sport and great burgers in Newport. With me, as always, is a slightly hungover Gavin Thomas, same as me, and Gareth Leclerc. Hello, gents. How are we?
I'm good.
Hungover. Gavin?
Hungover.
I'm fresh as a daisy. Climbed Penavant this morning, feeling good. Happy days. It's for those watching, the look on Gav's and Jamie's face are not quite as sprightly as usual.
I'm a little tired.
Yeah, same. I had a late one last night. It was a later night than what I anticipated, but I enjoyed it. It was good. Anyway, Gav, I believe congratulations are in order after yesterday. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so it was the last game played as not really as my club. We had a inter-club game and various guys from opposition teams and around the country came and played in memory of a teammate of mine, Nick Giles, who passed away 6 years ago. And we had our awards, and I was voted Player of the Year, the last ever Player of the Year for my club.
Oh,
excellent! Well done, Gav.
Brilliant stuff. There are better players than me. It was a reward for my commitment, and but it's like anything. If you love something, you put your heart into it, don't you?
Oh, good stuff. Well done.
Lovely words.
Please feel. Eberfay are going to come calling. They're going to sign you up soon, Eberfay.
Jesus. My plan next year, 4 more games of rugby, and then I am done.
We'll see. You say this every time.
We'll see.
No, I don't either. I don't believe it at all. But well done, though, Gav. That's great. That's really nice news. Right, let's start, as we always do then, with News Desk. So Steve Tandy has named an extended 48-man Wales squad for the summer tests. And there were 5 Dragons players called up. They were Ben Carter, Dylan Lewis, Wayno, obviously, Ryan Woodman, and Harry Keddy. Did not see that one coming. Now, before we talk about the players that have been selected and the squad in general, I think we have to talk about Rio, don't we? Who has been snubbed yet again by Wales, despite being the best winger in Wales on current form. Very, very disappointing news. I don't know what more Rio could have done, quite honestly, to get back into the Wales team. Very disappointing news. What do we think about this one? Because we expected him to be there, didn't we? We really did, given his form, and to not see him there, it's just a little bit baffling, isn't it?
It's genuinely inexplicable. If you say to me, why is he not there? I couldn't tell you. I genuinely couldn't tell you a reason why he's not there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just think, what do you want from a winger? Rio can finish. He's great in the air, and he works really hard in D. So
his defense is massively improved as well.
It's been brilliant. Yeah, if that was a work on, it has improved a lot. No one seems to. We don't leak choice down his channel, and that chase back in Montpellier sort of summed Rio up and his hunger this season, both in attack and defence. He's been top draw. I think he's literally been the form wing in Wales, and he's proven at test level as well. It's not like, maybe they're not going to take the risk on him. We know we can do it at that level. I'm really struggling with it. I'd love to know if there's going to be feedback and what that feedback would be, because really struggling with this one.
And I don't want to be one-eyed about it, but if you, or literally no-eyed there, but if you look at the other players they've selected, what are they doing that's better than him? Any of them?
Yeah.
Genuinely, if someone wants to tell me, Cardiff fans, Scarlets fans, whoever, tell me why those players have been selected over Rio, and really kind of give me some understanding as to why that's happened. I'd be interested to hear it, because I don't get it.
Yeah. Disgrace. But just, for Rio, have the summer off now. recover, and let's go hard again next season, and have another season like he has this year. Keep racking up some tries for the Dragons. But yeah, gutted for him. Deserved to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what Tandy said when he was asked about Rio. He said, having calls with the boys, it's hard at the end of the day. Where we're selecting people, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. We do watch every moment. And again, scoring tries is a big thing for Winger, but we look at everything he says, whether it be aerial, whether it be communication and defence. So there's a whole package to everything. And then he said this, Rio has done really well since he's gone back to the Dragons, and they're doing really well, which is awesome to see. But we were watching and speaking to Gabe for a long time. So this is Gabriel Hamer-Webb, who plays for Leicester Tigers, who I have to say I was very unimpressed with when he played for Wales in the Six Nations against Scotland. I thought he looked very average, and he was at fault for that Darcy Graham try, you know, the one where Finn Russell kicked it, quick kickoff. So I wasn't impressed. Now, it's only one game, I know, but do I think Gabe Hamer-Webb is better than Rio right now? No, I don't.
No, and what do you mean? Just because you've been speaking to him, he's not your fucking boyfriend. Like, what, do you know what I mean? What sort of reason is that? That's pissed me off even more. I mean, I like Gamer Webb. I think he looked really good when he was at Cardiff and got that
Yes, he
moment.
did.
agree.
He did.
But he's not on better form than Rio. That's wound me up even more. Unbelievable.
Gavin,
Yeah.
does that reasoning from Tandy cut the mustard for you? He
No.
clearly fancies Hamer-Webb more than Rio, doesn't he? That's what this is about.
Yeah, and coaches do that. I understand.
They do,
Right.
yeah.
So let's say let's put Louis Rees-Zammit and Gabriel Hamer-Webb to one side because they're players that Tandy likes. Let's just put those to one side. Let's think of the others. Rogers, yeah, okay, I'd have him in the squad.
Good
But
player.
yeah. But then, Adams over Rio, absolutely not.
But that's
Adams has
experience,
not been
isn't
on
he?
form, has he? Let's
He
be
hasn't.
honest.
But what I would say is Adams is part of the Wales leadership group, isn't he? And they talk about this experience and leadership. So I understand why Adams is there. I don't think we're seeing Josh Adams of 2019. I think he's
No.
well past his best.
Blaine
But
Murray as well. Blaine Murray is fine.
Blair
He's
Murray's had been found out at international level a few
Yeah,
times.
and at club level, to be honest.
He's been exposed. Rio's never been exposed like that. So, yeah, I don't buy into that one. Ellis he's injured. He's not even
there's a few Wales players in this squad that are
I
injured.
mean, how do you take a risk on someone who's not even fit? Yeah, it baffles me. I'd love to know more because I think Rio's the full package. He should be in.
Yeah, absolutely. The other
And
takeaway
we're
from
not a
this,
biased pod. Sorry, not to go on, but we tend to be relatively balanced. But I think,
we like to be balanced, don't we? We try our best.
yeah, but I think
Well, he's the best winger in Wales, and I'm not saying that as a Dragons fan. I'm saying that based on current play.
On
Yeah.
current form, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fine. Look, all supporters podcast are biased. Let's be honest. They are. The other takeaway I had from this squad was there was no Dragons hooker, which really did surprise me.
Yeah.
Now, I thought either Brody or Elliott would have been called up. Now, I didn't expect both of them to be. I know some people did, but I certainly expected either Brody or Elliott. And to be honest, I thought Brody would have gone in ahead of D.
yeah.
Now, I know D has been very experienced. He's done a great job coming off the bench for Wales in big matches. But I did think Brody has had a better season. I think he's been really good. And I think he deserved a call up. But instead, the hookers are Dewi Lake, who's injured at the moment, Ryan Elias, Evan Lloyd, and Liam Belcher, who still continues to find his way into Wales squads.
Come off it. He's not international class. He's good club player. Oh dear me. Brody should be there, and yeah, I'd have Brody and D ahead of Belcher and probably even Ollie Burrows. But I think Brody for me definitely deserves to be there. He's come on, like he's been good for a couple of seasons, but he's come on again. He's more abrasive. He's getting better with his arrows are becoming more and more sort of accurate and consistent. He's turned into a really good player. He's been a good threat at the breakdown as well. Yeah, really surprised Brody's not in.
Yeah,
Especially when Tandy is
I don't
looking.
understand.
Yeah, he's looking towards the future, and you think, well,
Yeah.
that's Brody for you, mate.
Sorry, what was that, Gavin? I missed that. You said something.
Belcher is just someone I really don't understand. Like being in the squad. He's fine.
very good serving for Cardiff Rugby, very good club captain, but he's not
Played for
international
us, didn't he?
standard. For one season, yeah, Cardiff let him go. We
Yeah.
picked him up. It was under Bernard Jackman. He played one season. He was okay, nothing special, pretty average. We let him go,
Yeah.
and he's been very, very good for Cardiff, but never in a month for Sundays. He's
He's a
the national
decent. He's
standard.
a decent club player.
He is.
Yeah.
But is that what we're doing now? Selecting decent club players?
Dear me.
I don't know.
And
So
he's
yeah.
not got the growth in his game that Brody's probably got as well.
No.
Because Brody can improve.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
if you
it's-
look into the future, you don't pick Liam Belcher, do you, really?
Yeah. Liam Belcher is Liam Belcher now. He's not going to get better.
No, that's true. So yeah, that was a big surprise to me, not having any Dragons hooker in
Yeah.
our 48-man squad. I thought that was very disappointing. Right, let's talk about the good stuff now. So we got a slight increase. We had two, didn't we, in the Six Nations? So then Woody was called up, but he was never going to get selected, let's be honest. So, we pretty much had two players playing consistently throughout the campaign. We got 5 this time. Slight increase. Should have been more again. I believe that, but there we are. Harry Keddy. Wow.
Oof.
Who saw this coming? Now, me and Gavin in particular, really big fans of Keddy, but I was blown away when I saw his name in that squad in a very good way because, like a lot of people, I thought his time had passed. And I am so pleased to see him getting recognition of being included in the Wales squad. Gavin, how surprised were you to see Harry in it?
I was really surprised, but really pleased for him
Yeah.
because I've liked him when he was at Ebervale, when he was 20 or whatever. He was best player in that Ebervale side, strong Ebervale side, and he's so committed. And he'll have a go anyway. I don't think he's a 7, but he can play there. And yeah, and I deserved it because it's a bloke who's just put the hard yards in over the years. And it's nice to get some recognition.
Absolutely.
Quality, isn't he?
Gareth, what did you make of
I
Keddy's?
was buzzing. I think
It's
I said
great,
a few
isn't it?
weeks ago, I think he's international class, but it did feel like that ship had sailed due to age. But I've always loved Keddy. He's one of those names on the team sheet, no matter who else is playing. You see Keddy, you're like, happy days. Because he's just got that quality. Feels like he sort of drives the team with actions. He picks up, drives hard. I think when we played Connaught home this season, he was a massive catalyst for that win, the way he was smashing through people. Just really pleased. It just shows he's a great example to others that, don't stop working hard and the rewards will come. And I think he's international quality and I really want to see him pull on that Welsh jersey because it's really deserved. And yeah, credit to him. And I think we probably start next season as him at number 8 for me.
Well, it depends where this Patea plays, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guy we signed from the Blues, I'd be interested to see because that is not a like-for-like Waino replacement, as we know.
No.
Not at all. So a brilliant story. So pleased for Keddy. Really chuffed. They did say they're going to whittle the squad down, didn't they, after the Barbars game?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that Keddy will play in the Barbars game, but probably would be released. Now, I hope that's not the case because if he makes an impression, if he goes really well, and it's not just about what he does in matches, it's about what he does in training. Like coaches are shit hot about how a player trains. That's really important. How many times have you heard a coach say he's trained well? And we've watched him on the field. So he's not very good, but the coaches say he's trained really hard. He's a good trainer. And Keddy apparently is a very, very good trainer.
Yeah, I
solid.
was going to say I think all coaches always refer to how he drives standards and works his bollocks off in training. So
Yeah,
no
and
worries there.
that's a non-capped game, that Barbars game, by the way. So if Keddy does play for us, he won't get a cap. It was the same when Lloyd Fairbrother played for Wales against the Barbars. That wasn't capped, but he still got to put on a Wales jersey nonetheless.
It's
And that's
still that
still an
day.
honour, isn't it?
It's still, you can always say the day I played for Wales. Not many people are that privileged, and I think whether it's capped or not is a little bit irrelevant for me. I think the day you get to play for Wales is pretty special, regardless. I really hope he gets that chance. Top player,
But it's an opportunity for him now, isn't it? Like I said, if he impresses, if he stays in the squad for that Nations Championship, that's really good for the Dragons as a club as well.
I wouldn't be ruling out Keddy going to the World Cup. I think he can go and I think he can make an impact in games.
But that's
and I
the
think
thing.
he does everything. He literally does everything. He can carry. He works his bollocks off. Decent at the breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in with a great shout. And he
Well,
covers so many positions across the back row.
he does. And people have talked about Keddy's age, but he can play in the next World Cup.
Is he 28 now?
29, I think, isn't he?
29, yeah. The World Cup's not far off, is it?
Yeah, it's just round
Next
the
year.
corner.
Next
Yeah,
year.
so he's available for the World Cup if it goes well. There's a real opportunity here for Harry. But I'm delighted for him. I did not see that coming at all, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I think it's brilliant news. Shows never give up, doesn't it? You know?
Oh, he's 30 in July, but good age really to be in a World Cup. So that's experienced and not daft.
Well, Cracknell got a call up at 31.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
there we go. Slightly surprised to see Dylan Lewis there, only because, he's been out most of the season with injury. But then we'll talk about the wider squad in a bit. When you look at the tight head position, it's not looking great at all.
It lacks some depth.
Yeah, to say the least. But I'm guessing Dylan is there for his experience. And to be fair, we'll talk about the game in a bit. But he had a good game yesterday, Dylan Lewis. He had a really good game.
I think he's just strung a couple of good games together for us, to be fair.
He has, yeah.
And I do think, he was solid at scrum time. And yeah, I think he's that breakdown threat in you. And I think you need that international with the speed of ball at the minute.
He pulled off a try-saving turnover on our line. I don't know if you remember that bit, but he's always been good at the breakdown as well,
Yeah.
Dylan Lewis. That's one of his skills.
He's a good player. I like Dylan. I think he's a good player.
Okay, so we've all seen the squad now. Let's take our Dragons hats off, right, and look at this as a Wales fan. How do we feel about this Wales squad? Because there are some strange selections in here. Like, for example, I mentioned the tight there just now. Sam Wainwright from Cardiff. That's a weird one. He's third choice for Cardiff and has done very little this season, I think. Yeah, he's in the squad.
Sam Wainwright, one of the only 23 Welshmen who can say they've won a test match in South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Come on, right at the end, didn't he? And
Yeah.
we got mullered at that scrum, but we somehow got the ball out.
Yeah.
But that's a strange selection. Ellis Bevan at scrum half?
Yeah, that is a weird call.
I forgot Ellis Bevan even existed.
Do you know what? I actually like Ellis Bevan. He's the type of player because he's on the fringes at Cardiff. I was like, I wouldn't mind us picking him up. I quite like him. He's quite niggly and aggressive, but I'm still surprised that he's got in the Welsh squad.
But then, who else really are the options? You've got Ruben.
The Goat's injured, isn't he? So
yeah, Shay's injured. So you've got pretty much what you've got, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's not many options there at scrum half.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, when you think Thomas Williams is injured, isn't he? So yeah.
He's in the squad, or Thomas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we mention Woodman as well being in? Because that's nice news, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
Wayno
of
and
course.
Carts is a given, isn't it? It's proven test quality. It's no surprise, but great to have a young back row in. Different type of player to Keddy, isn't he? He's top line operator, busy around the park. I think what I like with Woodman, he's got a lot of growth left in his game. How much better will Ryan Woodman be in 2 or 3 years is probably quite scary because he could be really immense. So just want our boys to go in and just be themselves, do what they've been doing for us, go in confident and hopefully put a marker down. But
that meme of Tommy Bowl talking, he's on that whatever TV show he does in Ireland. 10 siblings. I was a bit like that of the centres. 7 centres.
That 10 siblings clip's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. But 7 centres. What?
Yeah. But look at some of the names now. There are some exciting names, like Bryn Bradley, I think, is one of the future.
I like Bryn Bradley. He's a good player.
Louis Hennessy has been going well for Bath whenever he's played.
I've
Mason Grady is injured.
Yeah.
Joe Hawkins, to be fair, he's not a 10, but he's done well. Eddie James, Max Llewellyn. I'm still not certain about Llewellyn. I'm still not sure about him if it's an
it was a
international
lot of
centre.
centres, but I like all those centres.
Ben Thomas.
Oh no, sorry, I don't like them all.
Joe Roberts. I like Joe Roberts. He's a good.
I like Joe Roberts. Yeah. I really like Louis Hennessy only because I watched a lot of the under-20s when him and Harry Ackerman were centre partnership. And I was thinking, if only we could get him back from Bath and have those pair for us. But yeah, I mean, Harry's still waiting for a chance really for us, isn't he, with the form of an iron.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Aneirin has been absolutely fantastic
That's
this
quality.
season.
Yeah, it's immense.
I think you could say he's unlucky.
Mm.
A lot of people have said to me they would have had him over Ben Thomas, but
Yeah.
They're very
I,
different players.
they are, yeah.
And Ben Thomas brings something different to 12 than an Iron does. You know, he
Something that
play.
just doesn't work at international
Well,
level.
I quite like him as a player, but I like you. I agree, probably isn't an international player, but I
He's
like Ben.
quality for
Yeah,
Cardiff, and he
yeah,
suits
yeah.
them.
But
Like
no, I
he
think
is.
I like watching him play. He's a like opposition player. If say, who do you like watching play for opposite teams? He's definitely one that will be on that list for me because plays a bit deeper and he's good at finding space.
He makes
But
it look easy when he plays for Cardiff,
he
doesn't he?
does, yeah.
And
He,
then,
he seems to have so much time and space to do whatever he's doing.
but he's just not managed to take that onto the international level and look that comfortable. And I know it is a step up, but he makes international rugby look hard, where he makes club rugby look easy.
He's in a weak Welsh side as well at the minute.
Yeah. And if you want to be a ball player behind the gain line in a side that's getting pummeled, it is not an easy position to play. So it's not all on him. But in that case, is he right? Is he the right fit?
I'm not convinced by
It'd
Ben
be
Thomas
interesting who they
international
go for,
level.
wouldn't it? Do they go for power because we've actually got the options? I hate all the stuff like, oh, we're not a very big side. I'm like, we got loads of fucking massive blokes. Like we can pick a big side if we want. It's just who we decide to pick. You pick Eddie James and Max Llewellyn in the centre. They're enormous. Pick Grady on one wing.
Quinn Bradley's big as well.
Yeah, that's it. We've got plenty of size. I hate all the talk around us not being a big team. We can be a big team.
Yeah,
if we
that's
want.
all good and well though, but you got to have the right chemistry and the right balance of it.
Yeah,
You can pick
of
two
course.
big blokes as centre, but if they don't connect, then there's no point.
Yeah.
You do need. I like the idea of a playmaker 12 and then a big Bosch at 13, personally, rather than two big blokes in the centre because you do lack creativity. I think if
You have to have
two
a
big
creative
blokes.
centre.
You do,
I think. Yeah.
I think so. And like I said, I think Ben Thomas is very good for Cardiff. But
The sad thing is, at the top level now,
national.
though, the ball playing centres are also massive, aren't they? For a lot of teams, or they're at least powerful. Look at players like Tupeloto at Scotland and things like that. And we don't seem to have a player that can do both at the minute.
Yeah. Freddie Thomas in the second row, another player I'm just not convinced by for international rugby. I mean, when I look at the squad overall, I think Jared Evans as well. I mean, to be fair, I'm not his biggest fan, but Callum Sheedy has been much better than Jared Evans this season. So you can make a case for Callum
He's
Sheedy
played a
to
lot
be
more
in there.
rugby than Callum Sheedy, hasn't
Well,
he?
well, that's the other point. So
yeah.
why is he not in the squad then?
Who do you think will be first choice at Cardiff out of those two next season then?
That's an interesting point. No idea.
And Cardiff looked pretty good with Ewan Lloyd at 10, actually, but
Yeah, they did, in fairness. So how do we feel about the squad in general then? Like going into these summer tests? What do you think we'll do?
Oh, what do we think we'll do? I don't think we're going to do very well at all, but
It's a tough schedule, isn't it?
It's tough, isn't it? Because you look at it and think there's a lack of stars in there, players who have been there and done that, but a lot of youngsters, and they could grow into being stars, and they could go on to be quality players, and this could be the start of a really good team. But that's being optimistic, and I'm not sure at the minute if he can get the combinations right. It's going to be interesting, at least. I will actually wait for team news with some interest, where over the last couple of years it's not quite felt like that. So
they've got a very tough schedule in this Nations Championship, Wales. So we got Fiji at the Cardiff City Stadium. That's 4th of July. Then on the 11th, we got a flight to Argentina to play them. Then we got to go to Durban to play South Africa. Well, that's tough back to back, is there?
why are we doing
Argentina.
that?
I don't think Wales got a choice. I think this is what
No,
they've
yeah,
been
that's
told.
true. Yeah,
This is the schedule they've been handed. They got Japan then in the Principality Stadium. This is in November then, 7th of November, and then they got New Zealand, and then they got Australia. 8:10 kickoff.
is it
It's
Friday?
quite late, isn't it? It's the 21st of November, so I don't know. Look it up if it is a Friday. I'm not sure. It's either going to be a Friday or
No,
Saturday.
it's a Saturday. Yeah, Saturday night. Oh, that's a late one, isn't it?
It's a very tough schedule, isn't it? How many wins do you think Wales can get out of those? I think Fiji is winnable. Japan is winnable. I think Australia is winnable, but Argentina, South Africa, New Zealand, I can't see us getting
I think we'll get 1 win.
1 win out of 6 with those
Yeah.
fixtures. Gareth?
I think we'll get 2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that second one beyond Japan is coming.
Well, that's my issue, isn't it?
The thing is, with
Away
Wales,
to Argentina, probably not.
that a decade ago, we go and do that. We're not going to Argentina and winning now, are we? Unless he picks all the Dragons, because we're awesome away.
Dragons are massive, mate. If he picks Dragons players, we are flying.
Is it the Nations League or the Nations Cup? Because it's the Nations Cup.
Nations Cup.
Class. We're awesome in the Cup.
Nations Championship 2026 is called.
Championship. Yeah.
Maybe not so much.
Let's move on from Wales. So I think that's enough Wales chat now. So yeah, we're pleased to see our boys in the squad. Like I said, 5. Should have been more. We're not being biased about this, but I do think there should have been slightly more than that. But yeah, well done to all those called up, especially Keddy. I think that's a great story. Really pleased about that. Right, let's talk about what happened on Saturday. And so, Dragons made the short trip to Llanelli, looking to do the double over the Scarlets and avoid being bottom Welsh region for the first time since 2020. And it didn't happen, unfortunately. It should have done, but it didn't happen. It was a 9-try thriller that ended 35-all. So Dragons drew again for the 4th time this season. Now, statsman Stuart Farmer on X, he's confirmed to us that Glasgow also drew 4 games in the league, but this was back in 2011. And Ryan Price, friend of the pod, we've had him on, he pointed out the London Irish drew 5 games in the English Premiership. That was back in 2021, 2022 season. So, yeah, I wondered if it was a record with the amount of draws that we had in the league, but no, because Glasgow have also drawn 4. So, yeah. Dragons were 21-32 up at one point, and Scarlets were even down to 13 men. But Dragons failed to take advantage of Scarlets' poor discipline, and it finished all square thanks to Max Page's try, and as we said, an excellent touchline conversion from Joe Hawkins. So that result means Scarlets stay at 14th in the table, level on points with the Dragons, but finish higher due to winning more games. And Dragons remain in 15th place, meaning yet again, as per, Dragons finish as Wales's bottom region. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I think this game summed up the Dragon season. We saw some good stuff, we saw some bad stuff, and we saw some missed opportunities. And that's a microcosm for the Dragon season. Now, Gavin, I want to start with you first, because last week you predicted on the pod the Dragons were going to draw. And it was a draw. Fair play to you. You nailed it. Spot on. I want the lottery numbers for next week now, please.
That's the only accurate prediction I've made in a number of years. So I think let's put that down to blind luck rather than my psychic powers.
Fair enough. But yeah, let's start with you.
But you know, the money that Derek Akora made by making crap up, maybe I'll just go out and do that.
There we go. Mystic Gav and all that sort of thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because we talked about how the attack has improved over the season, but we've all said last couple of games the attack has been less sharp and the attack has looked less clinical. And yesterday was proof positive of that, wasn't it? You know, you got 13 men against you, and you can't break them down. It's just really lacked that clinical side. And I think you bang on about it being a microcosm of the season, because you could say positive things about every element of the game. You know, scrum, first half, really on top.
Yeah.
Or, you know, certainly, you know, kind of on top. Second half, struggled far more. Line-up was a bit hit and miss, but generally all right. In attack, showed some willingness. In defence, slowed the ball down. Kicking game was great, apart from the times when it wasn't. It was almost like, you know, kind of, right, we've done 2 good things, we'll do 2 bad things now. And that just continued through the game. And it was quite disappointing. At the end, you know, bear in mind, I knew what the result was, and then I watched it today.
Yeah.
But even though I knew what the result was, and when we're like well up, I'm like, I don't know how we lose it from here.
Well, we didn't lose it. Just about, but I know what you mean.
No,
I came away from, because I went to the game, I came away from Park of Scarlets feeling like we'd lost, even though we
hmm
hadn't. Did you get that feeling as well, Gav? Like, did this feel like a loss to you? Because it did to me.
it was just hugely disappointing because the game we should have won.
Another game, but how many times, Gav, have you said it this season?
Yeah, you're far too many. And I think we made Scarlets look like world beaters at times. You know, Tame Plumtree had a great game.
You did.
You know,
Great try
and
as well, to be fair
oh,
to him.
that finish is outrageous. But I'm trying to pin down where it didn't work for us, and there's no one I would say had a poor game, but everybody had poor spells.
Hmm.
You know, kind of Angus did some great things. I thought he took his try well. You know, kind of just in right place, right time at the start there. But then some of the other decision making, you're like, oh, God, mate, you know, this is just putting us under pressure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Game management was talked about a lot with the
Mm.
fans in the stadium and on the coach home afterwards. Poor game management. Yeah, it was disappointing, wasn't it? It was a game yet again that we should have won. And I will hold my hands up here. I have to be honest. So I have been a big critic of Tame Plumtree. I still think he's a bit thick, but when he sorts his discipline out, there's a player there, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have to give him credit. I thought he was outstanding against us. I was actually pleased to see him at 8 because I did want to see Fletcher Anderson because Fletcher Anderson has been outstanding. So when I looked at the two teams, I think we had the strongest team on paper.
yeah, yeah. I
I
agree.
really fancied us
Yeah.
against our Scarlets,
Yeah, same.
and that's what makes this result even more disappointing because Scarlets they weren't at full strength. We were as strong as we could. There was an opportunity there. I felt we had the better bench as well, but we come away from it just about with a draw, and you're thinking, well, we should have won here. But Plumtree was outstanding. You got to give credit to his due.
Oh, fair
You
play
really
to
have.
him. He had a great
Yeah,
game, and that try
yeah,
was immense.
yeah, absolutely. Gareth, let's come on to you now. How the hell did Dragons win that game? Because
Well,
I'll talk about the stats a bit. They've dominated large parts of that game. Scarlet's down to 13 men, but well, let's be honest, they fucked it, didn't they? Let's be
they
honest
did.
about it. They
You
fucked
said it
it.
felt like a loss. Well,
To me, it did.
it
Yeah.
felt like a loss because we were playing for the league spot, weren't we? Or to finish third and third Welsh region, and we fell short. So we lost out there, and it did really feel like a loss. I'm genuinely gutted. I felt like I couldn't even enjoy the game. I felt panicked watching it because I felt like that was a lot wider on it. I don't know how it was for the players, but I felt finishing above the Scarlets was important, and it would have validated that we had our improvement this season. There were positives. Tinas leads the defensive line really well at the line
Hmm.
speed coming up. I actually liked it. The times we took the points on offer. I
Yeah,
know it didn't work out in the end, but I thought we were making good decisions at those points. And I thought the forwards were really good. The driving more was fantastic. Carries, I mean, led by Wayno. Wayno was absolutely brilliant. As he
yeah, he had a great game, didn't he?
just always is, and he's just quality. I thought Brody was aggressive. Thomas Young again. But
He's
on
had
the
a great like
oh
fight the final quarter or final third of the
yeah,
season, Thomas Young, hasn't
he's just
Yeah.
added a new dimension to us. He's got a bit of calmness to him. He can mop things up. He just seems to make smart decisions. I really like Thomas Young. I felt like the Scarlets were reading our back play
he?
so
Yeah,
easily. Like
it was basic stuff that we were
I, th-
doing.
I think we looked basic in attack. Like the most we were doing at times was a little inside popped ball that the Scarlets were reading a mile off, and I felt like we were giving the Scarlets defence confidence. So the more the game wore on, the more the Scarlets felt that they could go out and pressure us behind. Don't get me wrong, we scored 35 points, but I think a lot of that was due to how well the forwards carried and the forwards, created space and worked their bollocks off. I think we're just lacking a bit of creativity behind. I think we've got good players in the back line. It's been a theme, isn't it? We're not getting the best out of them. I know earlier in the season we still had the worst attack in the league. I haven't checked where we are right now, but it was frustrating. We switched to a more of a kicking game later into the second half when we were ahead to try and sort of pin them back, but it didn't quite work, did it? It seemed to just invite pressure onto ourselves, and the set piece started to get a bit wobbly. And there was points, even when we were leading, I just thought, we're going to throw this away.
Yeah.
And you know what, a lot of times this season, and even when we've been behind, I've felt confident during the game that we're going to go on and win it, because we've just got that bit about us. But we just looked, I don't know, you could just sense, I don't know whether it was because I was nervous, you could just sense that we're creaking here, and the Scarlets were growing in confidence. It was disappointing, because I feel like we've had a better season than the Scarlets in many ways, but the league table doesn't lie.
No.
And it's just very, very disappointing. So
we've had equally poor league seasons, I would suggest.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting point. So Russ Petty, Statsman, put out a very interesting bit of data after the game. He was talking about the URC difference in points from this season to last.
Oh, yeah.
So
Nice.
Dragons are 19 points better than they were last season in the league. That's more than any other team. So the Dragons have significantly improved. And then the other teams, Cardiff are 8 points better than they were. And then Ospreys were -1. I think the Ospreys have had a good season despite all the off-field stuff, to be fair. That's been a hell of a lot of distraction. You know, they've been through a lot of uncertainty, the Ospreys. So I know Ospreys fans are slightly disappointed with this season, but considering what they've been through, I think fair enough. Scarlets, however, -20 points worse than they were last season. Now, let's not forget, right? Scarlets were a playoff team last season.
Well, that's true.
They reached the playoffs, and this season they finished 14th, and they're 20 points worse. Now, there is an argument to say that yes, although Dragons are bottom Welsh region by the table, I would still argue Scarlets have had the worst season out of the four. Because they have had the biggest drop off. Like I said, to go from playoffs to finishing 14th and be -20 points worse than they were, that is a big, big drop off. And I think if I'm a Scarlets fan, I'm going to start asking questions about why we dropped off so bad. There's cause for concern at Parker Scarlets, I think. So I think you make an interesting point. I think you made an interesting point. Yeah.
I've just had a quick look as well on the URC stats, and we are bottom of the league for attack. And one glaring stat that's way below everyone else is offloads. And
so yet again, this is another season where Dragons are bottom of the league for attack, isn't it?
Is that 3 in a row?
These are cold hard facts, Gareth, isn't it?
Yeah,
we got to talk about it.
It's 3 in a row, and it's frustrating, but we're second in the league for defence. And if you're going to fix something to make us a competitive team and build from, I guess, defence is going to be the first thing you concentrate on. Let's become hard to beat. Let's get a solid base. Let's stick in the fight, and then let's build off that. But next season, the attack, it has to improve, because there's been games, not this game, but there's been games this season where we've scored enough points to win. But no, sorry, we've kept the opposition to a low enough point score to win the game, but we haven't actually scored enough points to go on and win. We're shutting teams out, but we're not doing enough in attack, and I don't think we're utilising what we've got. And it's so frustrating. I think we actually left points on the table against the Scarlets, even though we scored 35 points. The Scarlets are pretty shit, and we should have scored more.
They should have beaten that Scarlets side. There's no doubt. But Scarlets are not a good team. They've had a very poor season.
Gifted them 2 fucking tries as well.
It was the line out, yeah. What was that about
killer
from Elliot as well? I love Elliot.
Do you know what
was that throw all about?
Do you make 4 changes in the pack at a line out on your 5 metre line? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure that's the best place to make changes.
That's not the obvious place to do it for me. Yeah,
I know they're pros. I just don't think you do it. It just doesn't seem the time and place. But yeah, so I'm not sure on the coaching front really with that decision. But the game wasn't won and lost on that moment, or drawn even. No. But it's just frustrating, just overly, just absolutely good. I can't watch it back, and it's quite painful.
I watched it back this morning. I didn't want to, I'll be honest. Like I said, it was slightly hungover, but I did want to watch it back. What I would say, first of all, our fans were in terrific voice. The travelling.
Yes. Very true. You could hear them on the telly, so fair play to everyone who went down.
Yeah.
great bit of noise when obviously outside the Scarlets. I think that's not, great
Oh, yeah.
achievement, but
They didn't really offer much noise or
It
atmosphere except when they were
sounded like
groaning
a
about
home
Ben
game.
atmosphere. Yeah, they were grumbling a lot about Ben Whitehouse. Scarlets fans really didn't make any noise until the last sort of 10 minutes when they felt they were in with a sniff of winning it. But it's a strange place, Park of Scarlets. Really strange place. Yeah, I watched the game back. I watched Premier Sports' coverage. Martin Gillingham was on there. He kept calling Dragons fans the Newport Posse, which is weird. So it cut to the Dragons
that is a
fans a
bit
couple
weird.
of times. He was like, there they are, the Newport Posse. You're like, what are you on about? I thought it was slightly strange. And then they had Foxy, John Davis on commentary, and he was just serving up one-eyed Turk nonsense, to be honest.
Oh, he was at one point. He went, and let's hope he kicks it. Oh, from for the Scarlets, hope the Scarlets will hope they kick it.
Yeah.
No, you hope they kick it, mate. Like either just be biased and know you're biased, or don't cover it up, or just be neutral. He's a dick, isn't he?
There was a couple of oohs
He's
and
already
ahs
on the
as well.
list, but he's got
Yeah.
an asterisk now. He's double on the list.
But when Scarlets were attacking, there was a couple of times he was going, ooh, oh, like that. And I felt, no, Foxy, you're supposed to be neutral. You are commentating for
Yeah,
Premier Sports now.
yeah.
This isn't Scarlet's TV. You're supposed to be neutral here, Foxy. And I get
Um,
it. He's a club legend. He's a Scarlet, but come on, mate. At least try to be a bit neutral. Do you know what I mean?
imagine Scarlet's TV. Oh God, that'd be depressing.
It'd be like Arsenal fans' TV, wouldn't it? It'd be
Yeah.
hilarious, but absolutely tragic.
Every day they'd have the "We Beat New Zealand" hour, where,
Yeah.
where people talk about beating New Zealand.
Constant reruns every day of
Oh,
Scarlet's New
dear me.
Zealand. Oh, bless them. They don't like to talk about it, though, do they? When they beat New
They very
Zealand.
rarely mention it. Very
Yeah.
rarely.
They beat New
They're the
Zealand, but
worst.
they don't like to talk
Oh,
about it. Newport beat the All
New
Blacks
Zealand.
once.
Yeah.
Man, didn't it? And Cardiff, who'd have thought? And
Beat a
Swansea, I
better
think, as
team as
well.
well. It was the only game that New Zealand side lost on that tour. The one the
Yeah.
Scarlets beat was just a mishap, load of nonsense. But
This upload of nonsense. Oh, gosh.
I hate those lot. That's, dear me.
Right.
That's why I'm so gutted.
Get
Absolutely
mad.
gutted.
I want to
How have
read
we not
out.
finished above them?
I know.
Sorry.
Right. I want to read out a couple of comments that I saw on X after the game. So these came from BBC journalists. One of them being Chris Kerwin, friend of the pod, who we've had on. So this is what Fraser Watson said. He's a BBC Sports writer. He wrote, Dragons have undoubtedly improved under Philo Tiatia, but the URC table again makes grim reading for him. Left to reflect numerous games they've tossed away this season. I think that's fair, isn't it? Tossed away is a pretty good way of putting it. And then he added this, Dragons improved so much, but often appear a side who don't know how to manage leads. Do you agree with that? Are we a side that don't know how to manage leads?
I think we decided to let Leeds slip too easily, and even if you think of a zebra away in the cup, corner to Tom, kind of we do let sides back into games.
We don't keep our
And a
foot
lot
on
of
their
our
throats, do we?
wins,
No,
we've
we
come
do
from
not.
behind because we've dug in. It's not like we've just dominated a whole game, is it?
Hmm. I
So
think
yeah,
it's
it's
a
probably
fair
right.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
And then Chris Kerwin said that pretty much summed up Dragon's season in URC as they finished bottom Welsh side again. Much better campaign from a very low bar, but 4 draws that should have been wins that's hurt them in the table. And then he added this, and I think this is an interesting point because I felt this at the time as well. Easy to say now, but was it the right call to go for 3 points to make it a 7 point game when Scarlets were down to 13? Right? So this is what happened when I saw it in the stadium. Carwyn Leggett Jones was sent to the sin bin for a deliberate knock on.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the fans were booing. They were going wild at this point. It was a clear, deliberate knock on. Learn the law, Scarlet fans. Right? I don't know why they were booing for. To be fair, even Martin Gilliam said in commentary, he said, I don't know why the whole crowd don't like it, because there's the laws. It was a deliberate knock on. Now, I felt personally, and I spoke to Phil, who was stood next to me about this. He said, oh, what do we do now? I said, well, surely they'll kick to the corner and go for the driver more because Scarlets were 13 men down at this point. We didn't do that. Angus took the free. And I think, in hindsight, and I don't know what you two think, I think we should have kicked to the corner rather than take the free. Bearing in mind we were down to 13 men and our driver more was looking pretty decent. I think it was a mistake to take the 3 points.
I understood why they took it, but as you said, the rolling ball was strong all game. And that would have been, a clearly an advantage to go,
I was actually pleased that we took the 3 because I envisaged you kick the 3 points, we get the ball back, and I expected us to work our way downfield and score more points.
Didn't happen though today.
no.
No, it didn't. It didn't happen. But I feel like against Edinburgh, we didn't take points on offer, and in the end, we ended up coming away with nothing when they had a yellow card. And I just thought, if you kick those points, you go the best part then of 10 minutes with that advantage to go and get more. And we were ahead anyway. I was happy with the decision. It just didn't work out for me.
That's fair enough. I know Dragons fans will have their own opinions. Me personally, I would have kicked to the corner because you have got to go when your opposition is down to 30 men. You've got to go for the juggler. And I thought, surely we'll kick to the corner now. And when he took the 3, I understood it.
That's a fair
And
point.
it's hindsight, isn't it? With the benefit of hindsight. But I agree with Chris. And I said that to Phil, who stood next to me at the game. We should have kicked to the corner then. But hey ho, these things happen. When you look at the stats for this, I don't know if any of you looked at the stats on Rugby Pass. It won't surprise you that the Dragons pretty much dominate all the stats.
Mm-hmm.
We had more possession and territory than the Scarlets. 52% possession, 53% territory. Scrum win was 100%, obviously on our own ball, that is. Line out success, 83. What has gone on with the line out? I've spoken about this in recent. Why has our line out been so poor these past few weeks? Doesn't make any
Sometimes,
sense.
though, the lineup's brilliant. There were some of the lineups in that game where it was contested and we were spot on because Scarlets actually went up really well. And you think, wow, that was a really good functioning lineup. We've done well there. And then, yeah, other times, it's a hotly contested area of the game, though, isn't it, as well? It'd be interesting to see what other teams' stats are like. Are we in line with others? Are others getting 100%? But the fact that we dominated a lot of those stats, I think the forwards, again, just the forwards did go really well. It's just very disappointing. But
And it's disappointing with the
couldn't
lineup because
convert
it has been good for most of the season, our lineout, and we've spoken about it on the pod, haven't we? How well our lineout has gone. But the past few weeks, it's just gone to pot. It's
We're
really
12th
strange.
in the league for lineouts.
Really? I thought we'd be higher than that.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's because recent games with a poor. I mean, one of our games was 71%, wasn't it? The lineout success. I mean,
Yeah.
that's no good. That's no good at all. You got to do better than that.
It's been really poor recently, the line-out.
Yeah, but why? It's weird, isn't it? How has it gone from being really good to going so poor? I just don't understand it.
That line-out's are really, really complex things, and I don't think it's ever down to one thing that they don't work. And, it just...
And sometimes you can just credit the opposition.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, Gav,
Because
yeah.
we disrupt lineouts quite well as well. I think, someone like Woodman's good at that. It is a hotly contested area of the game. You don't get many gimmies now, do you?
No.
Dragons made more passes, they made more ball carries and more post-contact meters than the Scarlets.
Again, forwards immense. A lot of that would have been done by the forwards. I thought they were class.
Both Dragons and Scarlets lost 13 turnovers each, but Scarlets did win more turnovers. They won 5, we won 2. Standout
We only
Dragons,
won 2 turnovers.
according to Rugby Pass, yeah.
Never.
That's according to me. I did think yesterday, I don't think we turned over enough ball, mind. I have to be honest. But it could be wrong. It is Rugby Pass. Some of the stats are accurate. Sometimes it's a bit off, isn't it? But we've questioned some of the stats, but that's what they're saying. So, standout Dragons performers. Angus had a solid game. Yeah, okay, there was a couple of decisions, but overall, I think he had a solid game. Wayno, in his very last Dragons game, led the charge, as always. 1 try, 1 line break, 13 carries, 14 tackles, and 5 defenders beaten. What are we going to do without Wainwright next season? What are we going to do without him? Yeah, cry.
He's genuinely unbelievable.
But like Gareth said, I think KD8 might be the option.
If he can stay fit, though, throughout the season, I think it's going to be key.
That's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who we play at 8. Shane Lewis-Hughes at 8 is not the answer.
No, he's a 6 for me all day long.
100%.
Yeah, agree.
I like Shane Lewis-Hughes a lot. I don't like him at 8. I don't like him a lock either. I think he's a 6.
No, he's a 6 with nothing but a 6. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think we need to remember that you can just be really, really good in one position.
Oh, he's quality 6 as well. I really like
Yeah.
Shane Lewis Hughes.
But I thought Wayno was brilliant again.
Oh,
He did drop the ball though, very uncharacteristic
Yeah, he
error,
did, yeah.
and you never see that from Wayno usually. But it was wet, ball was greasy. We'll
Yeah.
let him off because
Oh,
he's
so one
only
off. He is
human.
human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an outlier. You never see him make mistakes like that. But other than that, superb. Thank you again, Wayno, for everything you've done at the club. I thought it was a very good performance.
Who's cutting onions? I don't want to talk about it.
And then Carter was Dragons' top tackler with 15. Another solid shift. Right.
Shock.
So one of the questions that's been asked a lot by supporters in the ground, and I had a chat with Philo, and I wish I'd asked him this question. I didn't ask him it, and I wish I had now. Why didn't Levi Douglas come off the bench? I thought that was a bit weird. Now, my only explanation, I think, is I don't think Levi was fully fit.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only
In that
explanation.
case, why is he on the bench?
Because maybe the other locks weren't fit either. I don't know.
Yeah, and like obviously Ben's an 80-minute man anyway, and I thought Seb's been brilliant tail end
He
of
was
the
good
season.
again, Seb Davis, wasn't he? Isn't he turning into a solid signing now?
He was very, very good again. I really like. Again, I thought the forwards were brilliant. I was really, really pleased with the forwards, and I guess that's where we should be building our side around. But I was looking forward to Levi coming on, even if it was for 10 at the end, just to get us that go forward over the line. And we know the Scarlets aren't a great team. Get over the top of someone, Levi, and let's play. And yeah, strange one.
Yeah, I think Jamie's exactly right. I just don't think he was fit enough.
Well, I might be wrong. I don't know. I
No,
said I wish I'd asked somebody now, but I just thought it was very odd not to bring on
I
Levi.
think you are right.
That's the only explanation I can think of. Is I don't think
No,
he was fully
totally
fit. They
agree.
just thought, well, we'll keep Davis and Carter on, who went very well, the pair of them.
Yeah.
In fairness. Right, a few shout outs from me. I want to give a shout out to Rachel and Christian Hyde for organising another trip for the Dragon Supporters Club. We do appreciate the work that you guys put in. Honestly, we do. And I know there's been some events that have been poorly supported, and that's become a bit of an issue. However, this was not one of them. There was 3 packed coaches
Brilliant.
that went out leftly. It was a very good turnout. Our fans turned up in their numbers, and they were much louder than the Scarlets fans. And you could hear us quite clearly on the TV. Like I said, I watched the game back this morning.
Yeah, very much so.
You were hearing all the chants, Dragons, Rio, stand up for the men of Gwent. All our travelling supporters were class. And yeah, it was a good day. Not the result we wanted, obviously, but it was a good day. So I want to thank Rachel and Christian for their continued hard work in organising these trips, because it is appreciated. I want to give a shout out to anyone who came up to me and talked about how much they enjoyed the pod. Now, unfortunately, I'm terrible with names, right? But when I've had a drink, I'm even worse. I'm really, really bad. I can't remember the names of most of the people that I spoke to. I tell you what, Gaff, you're Mr. Popular. Loads of people asking, "Oh, where's Gareth? You know, and what's he up to?" And I said, "Oh, he couldn't make this game." It's like, "Oh, we love the pod. We love Gareth. It's great. You know, it's a great pod." And loads of people. Like I said, I didn't know who it was, but lots of people coming up to me saying how much they, and some of them didn't know it was me from the pod, but when they heard my voice on the text, like, "Oh, are you from the pod?" I'm like, "Yes." It was quite funny. I didn't feel as uncomfortable about it as I have in the past, you know.
Because you were pissed.
Probably, yeah. And I was enjoying the attention, but every other time I don't like it. I don't like it most of the time. I said
it is surreal, isn't it? It's lovely. It's so nice.
What's nice?
But it is really surreal. You are a bit like, I don't know how to handle this.
I'd be a terrible celebrity though, because I just wouldn't like the fame and everyone coming up to you, and yeah. So look, I can't remember your names. I'm sorry. You know who you are. I know Joe was one of them because he had me as a friend on Facebook this morning. Good to meet you, Joe. Have a couple of beers. Enjoyed that.
One off the terrace, legend.
Yeah. There was another guy as well, spoke to me on the terrace. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. You know who you are. Yeah, great chat. Thank you for your support on the pod. There was a lovely couple as well. Now, Gareth, you met this couple out in Montpellier. They said that they saw you and had a chat with you. They watch us on YouTube with a glass of wine.
Oh, yes.
Do you know the couple I'm on about?
Yeah. They're really nice with very cute little kids as well. Yeah, nice couple.
I didn't see the kids. I just saw them.
Very hungover. Yeah,
There
That's
was a,
becoming a bit of a theme for this podcast today, isn't it?
there was a lot of talk about what Gav got up to in Montpellier, the video. That video of you singing the Toulouse Falatau song, right? It's really class. But why did you throw a pint of beer over your head? Like, I did not expect that ending. You end the song and you just pick up a pint and go, you chuck it over your head, you mad
I
bastard.
just-
What was you doing?
I was pissed. I was excited. It's Dragons Away, isn't it? It's I don't know. How
It
else
was
do you end
funny.
a song? I do like a sing song when you're on tour. So yeah, there was a few going on.
Yeah, really nice couple. I'm sorry, I can't remember your names. I don't even know if I asked you your names. Maybe I did. I don't know. Gav, do you know their names at all? No?
Don't put me on the spot.
No, that's a no
No.
then. Okay, fair enough. But listen, you know who you are. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Lovely comments, lovely people. Thank you for that. I tell you who else I spoke to. Super Chrissy Coleman's dad.
Legend.
What a lovely guy. Genuinely lovely bloke. This is the first time I've spoken to him. Now, Gav, you've been telling me about Coleman's old man.
Yeah,
He
likes a
listens-
beer.
He likes to be very honestly, really top guy. I enjoyed
Yeah, really
talking
nice
to him
guy, yeah.
and spending time with him. So he did say, I love the pod. He said, I'm slightly paraphrasing now because I can't remember exactly what he said word for word, but he said something like, really like the pod. I look forward to it every week. He said, but sometimes he said, I don't want to throttle you. Which I was like, okay. But he said, you know what? That's fine because he said, you're always right. He said, you're always honest in what you say. And he said, don't change that.
Yeah,
And
he's a good
I
guy.
said to him, look, we've had honest conversation about certain players. We're not throwing players on the bus, but we have to be honest as well in our assessment of the season and how things are gone. Because we don't want to be a fluffy podcast. There are too many supporters pods out there who are very fluffy and they refuse to criticize or, talk about the hard issues. And I think that's wrong. I think if we're doing that, then there's no point.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any point to it. But yeah, it was great to. What's his name? Is it Mark Coleman? Is it Mark? His first name? I could have
I
got.
think so. When I met him, we'd had many
completely wrong.
beers
Yeah.
in Montpellier. He was leading the charge on the beers, to be fair.
He's a
Yeah.
top man. I
He's-
really liked
yeah.
Coleman's old man.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But he reckons, because I said to him about getting Chris on the pod. I was trying to recruit. And I'll tell you a funny story about Philo in a minute. Right. So I tried to get Coleman on the pod and he's like, what you should do, he said, is try and get Brody and Chris together on the pod.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Because he said they got really good stories, they're good mates, so that would work better rather than
Oh,
them on
nice.
their own. So I'm wondering, might have to speak to Ben from communications, maybe try and get that sorted.
That's a good shout, isn't it?
That'd be good to get two players on at
That
the
would
same
be
time.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Especially get
what,
some stories out of him.
yeah, that's what Coleman old man reckons. He said we try and get them both on. That'll work well. So maybe that's a good idea. That's a good suggestion. Right.
Good stuff.
Do you want to hear about my chat with Philo Tia?
We do.
Go on.
You seen the photo I sent you?
Yeah, very good.
Me and Philo, we're mates now. We're like that. So Scarlets let everyone go onto the pitch, like we did at Rodney Prey last game of the season. So we went onto the pitch, shook a few players' hand, had a mooch about, and Philo was there. And somebody said, again, I can't remember your name, so he said, oh, go and have a photo with Philo. And I was like, nah, I don't want. He said, oh, go on. So I did. And
Did
I thought,
Philo not ask you for the photo? That's what I thought.
no, he didn't. He didn't. He should have done, but that's not how he works. So I said, Philo, shook his hand, we had a photo. So I thought, I'm going to have a chat with him. I said, Philo, have you heard of a podcast called The Dragon's Lair? He said, no. Now, I have it on good authority that he has heard of us and he knows about this, right? But he said to me, no. And I said, look, we're a Dragons Fans podcast. And if you want honest views and hard-hitting analysis, Philo, you need to be listening to us. And you went, oh, right. Okay.
What?
And I said, do you listen to
How many
podcasts?
beers
did you add?
How many beers had you had at this point?
I'd had a few.
Apparently.
Like, I wasn't drunk, but I had a few. I have more coffee so I've had a
I
drink.
thought
It's
we
mad,
told him
isn't
to
it?
pick a Nisi at 13. Surely he was listening then.
Well, this is it. This is it. But I was told on very good authority, when I explained the story, he said, no, he has heard of you. He knows about the pod. So I said, do you listen to podcasts? He's like, yeah. So I told him about the pod. I said, do you want to come on? He's like, oh, I don't know. He said, I don't know. I said, listen, we'd love to have you on. I said, we want more players and coaches to come on. I explained to him that we had Rob Hunt come on, we've had Jumbo come on, and we've had former players, so it'd be great to speak to you if you fancy. And he went, oh, I said, I don't know. He said, that depends. He said, have you been slagging me off? And I said, yeah, but that was only a couple of episodes, Philo. It was only a couple of episodes we did that. Now, that could have seriously backfired, right?
He's a big old boy.
Yeah. To be fair to Philo, he laughed his head off. He really enjoyed that. Yeah. I just have a laugh. Just be honest. Like, yeah, it's only a
That's
couple of
quality.
episodes, Philo. I said, don't listen to. I said, don't listen to those ones.
Oh, brilliant.
Don't
To be
listen
fair, we
those
did
thoughts.
when we were fucking shit, and rightly so.
Yes. But he had a good laugh, and
Oh,
he
good
said,
stuff.
"Oh, what did he say?" He said something like, "Oh, I'll have to listen now on Sunday morning." He said, "So if you are listening to us, Philo, thank you, thank you for listening to us." And you know,
And get
I think he has been listening to the pod though, because I said that. Well, we said, didn't we, in EC at 13, it happened. So
We are available for consultation work.
absolutely. But yeah, it was a good chat to Philo. I did say to Philo as well, mate. I said we should have won that today. I said we really should have won that. He said, "Yeah, I know. You're right."
What was his general vibe? Was he disappointed or?
He was. He was. That's why I got a laugh out of him. That's why I think it was important just to have a bit of
Yeah.
chat, of banter. Philo felt disappointed with that performance. You could tell. And did you see what he said after the game?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, he said about lost opportunities in the game we should have won himself, didn't he?
So this is what he said. I want to know though, did he have this conversation before he spoke to me or after? Right? Because I said we should have won. This is what he said. This is what he told the BBC. He said we should have won. We dominated territory and possession for large parts of the game. We just allowed them to have opportunities and they took them. It was one of those games and I was disappointed for the group. And then he added, it was a fourth draw in 18 games. And not really a record I want because you can talk about whether they should have been wins. He's right, isn't he? Spot on.
Yeah, he's right.
But yeah, it was just good to chat to Philo and like I said, I had a photo with him.
That's good for a player like that.
Yeah, and you know, I had a bit of banter with him and he took it well. Like I said, that could have backfired, mind. That seriously could have backfired.
He's got a decent bit of banter about him, I think, more than off camera, and to be fair, than he gives in interviews.
Yeah, he did say Dale would be good for the pod. We talked about Dale. I said Dale's
I'm desperate to get Dale on.
Yeah,
potentially pre-season would be the one. Looking ahead of next year would be really good. So
I would like us to have
news on that.
I would like us to have more players and coaches on this pod,
Yeah.
but some of them are very reluctant to come on, and I don't know why. We don't bite. We're not the BBC. We're not going to interrogate you. We're not going to slag you off, as Theo says. But, you know, just go have a chat with Freddie. No anymore. No. Yeah, so that was good fun. That was really good fun. And then we'll talk about this in the season review because this is going to be our penultimate pod. Then we're doing one last pod, and we've agreed.
Yeah.
A season review, and then we're done. We want our Sundays back. And we don't get paid for this. Yes, the pod is sponsored, but that goes to the Wrap Fund. That covers all the pods. That pays for the Zoom cost and everything. We don't get paid for this. We give up our free time. And it's nice to know that everyone's appreciating that and listening to us. It's great. But I do want my Sunday evenings back. But I don't know how you guys feel about this. And I don't want to go too in depth because we'll talk about this season review. But I'm really struggling with my feelings about this season now, right? Because on the one hand, last season was the worst ever for the club. It was an absolute disaster. Just 2 wins all season. We had like 20 odd boys injured every week.
Yeah.
Total disaster, total failure, embarrassment. This season, however, we have significantly improved. We talked about the difference in points. 7 wins and 4 draws. Now compare that to last season when we had just 2 wins. That is significant improvement. And nobody can deny that. I think any reasonable person will look at the Dragons and say, yes, we have improved. But here's the thing I'm really struggling with. Us finishing bottom Welsh region, yet again.
Yeah.
As for me, and I'm speaking out for my own opinion, I don't know how you two feel, it has taken the shine off for me what's been a really good season. Yeah. Now, I know some people are not bothered about where we finished. Some people say, oh, I just want to see improvement. And there will be some people who said to me, well, come on, Jamie, you did actually predict a 15th place finish for the Dragons. And they're right. I did predict us to finish 50th, and they've done better than I expected because I didn't expect us to have that European Cup run and get to the semi-final. But why do I still feel disappointed? Why do I still feel like it's taken the shine off a good season, finishing worst Welsh team yet again? Because this is the stick that people used to beat the Dragons with. And I am so bored of finishing bottom of the pile year after year after year. I think we had a glorious opportunity to finish above the Scarlets. And we didn't take it. And it does make you wonder, like, for me, I just think, what's it going to take for Dragons to buck the trend of being Wales's bottom team?
Do you know what? In some ways, and I feel the same. I do feel disappointed right now, but it shows how far we've come that we are disappointed because we did have an opportunity to finish above them.
Numerous opportunities. And that's the frustrating thing for me. Sorry, I have to cut you off. Yes, we have done better than expected, but it could have been even better. Like, imagine if we finished 13th or 12th, or even if we finished 14th.
Yeah.
If we'd won yesterday, I would have felt more positive. And two things can be true at the same time, right? It's right to say we've improved, and we can be proud of the team efforts. They have worked incredibly hard. But at the same time, finishing bottom Welsh region yet again, if not now, then when? When are Dragons ever going to buck this trend? I'm just so bored of it. And for me, it has taken a little bit of shine over what has been an encouraging season. I just think this is one of those things where both things could be true. I'm feeling quite conflicted, and I'm wrestling with my feelings about it. Sorry, continue, Gav, because I cut you off there.
No, I think you're right. I do feel the same. I'm really conflicted. It's a bit raw at the moment as well, but I do feel that the fact that I am disappointed shows that we actually had more to offer, and the growth in this team. If we could have just got one more game over the line, or even one more bonus point somewhere, we finish above them. That is gutting. But I think when we've had a bit more time to reflect, I think we'll be relatively happy with this season from where we were, from our standing point. Look, if we go the same next season, it's not good enough. But from the point we were last season, the improvement is massive, and that's what we wanted. And it's despite the league position not being as good as I wanted, I think we've actually improved more than I expected.
Gavin, how do you feel
when you take
about
the cup
it?
run into consideration?
Well, it's like I said to you guys in our group chat in the week that I think, yes, it's an improvement, but I think if we beat the teams we beat, but would we have beaten a full strength Stad? Who knows? It's unlikely, but that doesn't matter because we beat the teams we beat and we did the things we did. But this time next year, we can't be having the same conversation. If we're having the same conversation this time next year, then it's not good enough. And, next year, just a par season will be to win 4 games in the league.
Yeah.
And including away wins and a couple of cup wins. And then if you get to 6, 7 wins, then we're in a much better place. But we can't be having this conversation this time next year. And even if we are the bottom Welsh team next year, we just have to be better in terms of our results.
So I think it's the 18th time now in 23 seasons, isn't it?
It's unacceptable, isn't it?
I mean, it's such a damning statistic. And like I said, when we go through all this process about cutting the team again, we've seen how people can turn and ex-pros firing shots at the Dragons. It is a stick that's used to beat us with. And I'm just so bored of it. I'm bored of finishing bottom. I mean, how shit do Scarlets have to be in order for us to finish above them? I mean, for me, this was a glorious chance to do it, and we just haven't taken it. And I think I'm feeling really frustrated. Like, pleased with the progress, because they did do better than expected, but I know we could have done better. Those draws have really come back to hurt us. And that's how I feel about it. Like I said, two things can be true at the same time. On the one hand, pleased with the effort. I think it's right that all Dragons fans are happy, but we're still Dragonsy, aren't we? I mean, that game summed us up, not taking advantage of 30 men, bad decision making, failure to execute in the red zone. The thing is, Gavin, like we've done this for a long time now. Even though we've improved, I'm saying too much now because I should be saying this in the season review, but I'll just leave it as. Even though we have improved, I still don't think we're a particularly good team. We're an improved team, but I don't think we're a good team. And I think
Well,
we're
if
still miles off from where we want to be. But there are some Dragonsy moments still there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's a fair point because the improvement's great that we got 28 league points this year after 9 last year. 9 is fucking awful. But if we had 28 league points last year, we still finished bottom of the league last year. So Zebra had 29 last year. They would have beat us by 1 point. So whilst the improvement is great, it's almost because it was from such
A
an
low bar.
awfully low bar, and it
Yeah.
really was. And I've really enjoyed this season. I think again, we should keep our powder dry for next week. But results and statistics are one thing, but what has changed this season is being on the terrace and going over Rodney Parade with one hope that we're going to win, but two, just a buoyant terrace, no matter the result, and a team that are fighting. And we don't always get the result, but it is enjoyable to go over. And it has been tough going over for the last few years. This year, it's been easy.
Yeah.
I've never thought, oh, Dragons on the weekend, is it? I've thought, wicked, can't wait for it, buzzing to go. And that's been a bigger change than the league position, I think.
Gavin, any final thoughts about that?
No, no. I think next season there's no way we have to make the difference. No more excuses anymore. We're winning games, or there's a problem.
Yeah. I'm just bored of talking about the
Yeah.
on the pod, you know.
Yeah, no.
Just every season's the same. And I think we got to stop making excuses now.
Yeah,
Quite
no,
honest,
that's
'cause
exactly what I think.
as a fan base, I do feel some of our fans are a little bit, oh, this is going to sound really harsh. I do think sometimes they're a little bit delusional about where we are. And they overlook certain issues within the squad. And I think we need to start being a little bit more, no, come on now. We demand improvement now. We expect better. It's been good, but, I still think we're a bit Dragonsy. And I still think personally we're a long way off from being, a top 10 team, personally. Because you got to beat those teams around you. I spoke about it before. You got to beat your Edinburghs, your Scarlets, your Bennettons. That's the only way Dragons are ever going to improve.
Cardiff.
Well, Cardiff are a top 8 team, and we never beat Cardiff. So I've given up on Cardiff. We'll never beat Cardiff for as long as the Dragons exist.
Gareth
So
will
I don't
never
care.
give up on beating Cardiff.
I have. I don't
Yeah.
care about Cardiff anymore. They're not relevant to me. I don't care about them at all. So I just always accept that we lose to Cardiff. It's just how it is. Like we're always going to lose to Leinster. We're always going to lose to Bulls. So it's just how it is. Some teams you got to write it off. But for me, we got to start beating the teams that surround us
Yeah.
before you can even think about beating those top teams.
Which South African teams will we have at home? We'll have Sharks.
Well, this is another issue. Again, we probably say too much before the season review.
No, we'll
but
have Lions and
Yeah, it's Lions, not Sharks.
Lions
Yeah.
and Stormers.
Yeah.
But I put this to you, for all the improvement Dragons have made, failure to beat Cardiff over a decade now, the Dragons still haven't beaten a South African team in the URC. We've only ever beaten the Cheetahs and the Kings, and that was in the old Pro 12. As things stand, they have not beat the South Africa team. And that's another thing to beat the Dragons over. That's another damning statistic, isn't it? All the other regions have beaten the South Africa team. We still haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't want to sound too negative, but that's just how I personally feel. I am really pleased with the progress. We have significantly improved. I'm not saying we're not. But for me, just the last 20 minutes of that Scarlets game kind of summed up our season for me. And it has taken a bit of shine off it finishing. And I would have sacrificed the cup run for a higher league position. I said that in the stadium. And some fans were like, oh, no, but I had a brilliant time out in, Paris and Montpellier. Like, those are memories to cherish. And I get that. And you're probably the same, Garth. I know you had a great time in Montpellier. But for me personally, I would have sacrificed the cup run for a higher league finish. But that's just me. So, yeah, I think we'll talk about this more in depth when we do our season review. But yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. So. Okay, let's move on then. Gwent Rugby Roundup. Quite a lot to get through, Gav, isn't it?
Not quite. So only games in the Championship and the Premiership. Premiership, Bargoed 39, Newbridge 41. Exciting game that, but Bargoed just pipping Newbridge to 5th place in the league. And Cross Keys 28, Merthyr 47. Merthyr top of the league and won at Cross Keys 2 from the bottom. So 3 from the bottom. So they've avoided relegation, Cross Keys, but not a great season for Cross Keys. And then in the Championship, not many of our boys playing, but St. Peter's 21, Bedwas 66, and Annisty 17, Talawine 31. And Bedwas go up as champions with 116 points, lost 1 game all season. Ablairi, Blaenau, Gwent, and Annisty are relegated from that league. And that's all we've got.
Lovely stuff. Okay, so like I said, we have one more pod after this one, and then we're done. We will try and do some one-offs throughout the off-season. The Dragons, I've told them a million times, I want more players to come on. I'd love to get Dale on. I think that'd be really good. So our next pod will be a season review. We'll have a bit of fun. We'll do like an awards thing. So we'll choose our favourite Dragons try. We'll choose our Dragons player of the season. So yesterday, Angus O'Brien was Dragons Supporters Club player of the season. There was a presentation on the field, which is quite nice. Will Angus be my player of the season? I'm still toying with it. I'm not sure at the minute, but that's something for you two to think about now. I want you to think about the best try, best sign-in, best young player. We'll do all that sort of thing.
I've already decided my player of the season.
Okay. I think I have as well.
I'll keep my powder dry though, but yeah.
I'm not telling who it is, but I've already selected them.
My top 3 has changed numerous times, though. Angus is definitely in my top 3. I will say that. Spoiler alert, he is in my top 3. But I don't know if he's going to be number 1. Because a lot of players have put their hands up. It's actually harder this season than it was last season to pick, because, let's be honest, it was low-hanging fruit, was there, trying to pick the best Dragons player in an absolute shit show of a season. And I gave it to Rodri.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Oh, maybe give it to someone who's going this year.
That's why I'm wondering. Did I curse Rodri Williams?
I'd give it to Jared Rosser, so you know.
I give it to his brother Ewan because he's going to be playing for Pontypool now, so he won't suffer the curse really of playing for the Dragons. I don't know. I'm just a bit worried now. I made a curse. Now I thought about it. I don't know.
Because the Dragons have got their awards next weekend, so we're having a week off, aren't we? And then.
Yes, because you can do next week, you said.
Yeah. That's all right. Sorry,
because you're going to be hungover again.
He's always on the piss out, Gareth, isn't he? All the time.
I'm fresh as a daisy today, boys. So...
Makes a change.
Today,
Makes a change. I am feeling quite tired now.
Oh.
I'm at that age, and Gavin, you know this as well. Now, I'm 42. I know I don't look it, but I am 42. It takes me now at least 2 days to get over a big night out. When I was younger, I could shake it off. Well, when I was younger, if I'd been out in the piss, I just used to go down the club and do Hair the Dog on a Sunday afternoon and have a couple of jars down the Working Men's Club. I can't do that now. The thought of Hair the Dog is to be sick. It takes me at least 2 days. How long does it take you, Gav, to get over?
Oh, at least 2 days. You know, I've got working day tomorrow. I need to be on my metal, but I will struggle. I've got a long train journey as well.
It takes me a few days, and I'm 37. After Montpellier, my bones were hurting for about 4 days. And I just couldn't stop eating everything in sight. But yeah.
Well, not surprised after where you got up to. You and your drunken antics. I heard all about it at Park of Scarlets. What you've been up to from the fans. You made yourself very popular.
What goes on tour stays on tour.
Absolutely. So, one more pod from us, and then we're done. We are done. And I'll be not next week, the week after. So, make sure you're subscribed to us.
I remember when I used to listen, well, I still listen, but when I was just a listener, that you used to say, the season's done, we won't have any. And then you were always back for pods, like quite a lot through the summer.
Well, anyway. I remember that there was that particular summer. Is that we're not doing any more, Gav. We're not doing any more. And we did 8 over the summer.
Yes, no more pods now. I've had a cupful. And then I'll be texting you, Gabby, we got a bonus pod.
I told the missus, I was like, I've got one more pod. And then Dragons won't be back until September. She what? No rugby. She goes, yeah. I was like, no rugby. I was like, oh, there is, European finals next week and the URC playoffs and things like
Yeah.
that. Oh, Wales have got a summer tour. And it's just
Oh,
before you know it,
I'm
it'll
not
be
doing
back into
pods of that shit.
pre-season.
No,
No, no, not for pods, I mean, but as in watching
Yeah.
rugby. She's like,
Oh, yeah,
there's
yeah.
not a week in the year where there's not some sort of rugby on the telly.
I'm at the Barbarians game as well.
Oh, nice.
Becky,
Hopefully,
not a fan of the
hopefully
rugby then.
Dragons.
Gareth, is
No,
she on the
do you know
telly?
what? She doesn't mind the rugby and we'll happy to sit if the Dragons are on and we'll watch Wales as well, but I'll watch anything. So this sometimes it's a bit. Surely there's not more rugby. I'm like, listen, actually, it's a really important game. So it's yeah. Bit
Right,
of
so
that.
after our season review, there'll be no more pods
Apart from the
Yeah.
ones that we do.
apart from the extra bonus
Yeah.
pods, the 10 of them that we do. Well, Gareth, if you're going to stalk people on LinkedIn like you did with Richie Reese, then we could do a
Yeah,
few
that's
more.
the plan. Try and get a couple of specials in it.
Absolutely. Keep stalking. See what you get. See what we come up with.
Yeah.
Right. I think that'll do us this week. Thank you, gentlemen, as always. It's been a pleasure. We'll be back not next week, the week after, though. Thank you to our friends at Riverside Sports Bar for their ongoing support of the pod. It's always appreciated. And thank you all for listening. It genuinely blows me away that people really like this pod and they listen to us. It's nice. It's really nice. Because I did think, and I've said this many times, when I first started this pod with you, Gavin, we were like, is anyone actually going to listen to this? I say, who is going to listen to a Dragons podcast? And it's wild that we get supporters of other regions listening to us. There's always a Cardiff or an Osprey fan in our mentions in the comments, which is it's fine. It don't bother me. I think it's good, like, that we cross over. But yeah, it's much appreciated. Yeah, so thank you very much. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, and yeah, see you then. Up the Dragons.